What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. So I felt it necessary that we do an updated top 10 best life-size busts in my collection because I've received so many busts in the past few months. Lots of really contenders for top 10 since I've last done it. So as of right now, I own 50 life-size busts, although 51, which is the Queen Alien bust, will be coming back. And then eventually, once I get Kratos bust, I'll make it 52. And at that point, I think I'm pretty much done with life-size busts, unless a Hawkeye is made. But I think I'll pretty much be done. I mean, I may get the Queen Arnold, the new one. I'm still trying to resist it just because I have that one. We don't need the new one, but ask me that again in a year and a half when it's released and we see it in hands. We'll probably see a review on the channel, as long as I'm still collecting. Nevertheless, we want to do a top 10. So, before we get to top 10, we got to throw out some, some that didn't quite make the list, but are still extremely phenomenal. One is going to be this Alita bust. She is absolutely amazing, incredible bust, but she did not make my top 10 list. Now, for me, when I do look at a top 10 bust, it comes down to a few different things. I look at 3 areas, really. Well, 4. So one is the base. How good is the base? Does it tie in with the bust, the movie, the character? 2, the body. How good does the body look? How big is it? Does it have arms? 3 is the face, likeness and detail. And then the other things I would look at in general, when busts have arms or, the base, the whole thing, you look at the concept. You also look at presence, just the overall, how does it make you feel? How much you love the character kind of plays a big role as well. But yeah, Alita did not make my top 10. Second one in here that did not make the top 10 right now is Blue Box Pennywise bust. I think there's a few things that can make this better. One, more body and arms. Him holding like a Georgie arm that's ripped off and another a boat, and more body, making it like bigger. If you did that with the same base, then this would definitely be a top 10. But I would say that's the biggest miss is the lack of arms. Because if you take out the fact I included Prim 1, the concept is just, clown bust. That makes it a good concept, but the paint app and detail is top-notch, no doubt. That is it from this room. The other few I wanted to give mention of. I have to look at my list. I wrote this down, goodness. Joker bust. He didn't quite make it. Doctor Strange didn't make it. Mara bust didn't make it. All phenomenal busts. Amazing likeness and detail and everything, but they did not make my list. So let's get now to the top 10. Now keep in mind, with any top 10, it's always ever changing. Usually I find your top 3 are pretty solid, or whatnot, but it's always ever changing depending on your mood, how long you've had it, what's hype in the world or in your life at that moment, and so forth. So for right now, number 10, Queen Arnold. I did add this custom bandolier with these grenades, but this is a phenomenal bust for a few reasons. I do like the base. It's pretty cool. I like the newer base much better. The body, it's not big and it doesn't have arms like the new one, which I really like how much bigger it is. It only has one arm, which is kind of annoying. I'd like a double arm, like Infinity style. But this does have this whole chest detail where you can see the endo, the flesh wounds, the bullet holes in the neck, and the portrait is one of my favorites. Really good likeness, but that battle damage is definitely the biggest reason I love this bust so much. That's one reason I think the new bust just won't be as good, because it's missing the things I love about this the most. I love this the most because of the battle damage. The bullet holes in his neck, the scratches, the blood marks. You can see the endo there. All this flesh. That is what makes this bust so special, in my opinion, and the new one lacks that. What it does add, though, is the fact he's holding a shotgun and have an arm and a better base. Granted, it does have phenomenal likeness, but it is missing the things that make this one special. So number 10, Queen Arnold. Number 9, right now, is going to be the Clicker bust. This is a custom bust by Jute Bong Arts. I was going to say Blue Box, goodness. Overall, amazing bust. Pretty good base, not like phenomenal. The best part about it is in the back where it has a bloater. Granted, I can't see it due to the angle of it. It's a very deep bust. It is missing an arm. However, you can kind of view it, the arm was bitten off or whatever. But phenomenal portrait. It doesn't have like eyes or anything, but does have like silicone teeth and tongue. Really good paint app. Phenomenal concept. You know, seeing the bite mark and the freaking hands look so real and grimy. Really impressive bust, though. Definitely one of my favorites. So, number 9, Clicker bust. Alrighty, number 8 is going to be Queen Studios Captain America life-size bust. This bust is phenomenal in many, many ways. There's a few things I dislike about it. I think the base could be much better. It's quite plain and simple, but it does the job. I like the fact he holds a Mjolnir, but I would have liked a swap out hand of just a fist. The shield feels too thick. You know, like this is a very thick shield, especially compared to my metal one. I would have loved a thinner shield. I also would have liked to swap out full shield. Granted, I feel like it blocked too much of them, so I understand why. But I would have loved the ability to not have a hammer and a better base. But portrait, 10 out of 10. Armor, and it's big and girthy. I love the size. It's so much presence. So definitely one of the best busts out there, though. It's number 8, Captain America. Number 7 is going to be Loki bust. Overall, you know, looking at Loki and Captain, I think I still like Loki more. Loki has a better base, better armor, and a better portrait. The only thing Cap has on it is presence and the fact he has arms with 2 weapons. That's the big thing lacking on this. You know, imagine... Goodness, stupid sickness. Good thing you guys can't get sick from my coughing on YouTube. But imagine if you had one hand holding the Tesseract or, you know, somehow holding his scepter or something like that. Or just like holding the, you know, the Tesseract with both hands in the middle. How epic that would be. So that's the biggest thing lacking from this bust. But overall, just the overall look, I freaking love this bust so much. And it is my favorite of, you know, the non-Thanos Marvel busts. Queen Loki, number 7. Number 6 is going to be Infinity Bale bust. So this is a newer one. Great overall piece. The biggest thing lacking is just the swap out portrait with a cowled, you know, head. I think if we did that, it'd be higher on my list. But phenomenal likeness, amazing armor, presence is huge. I love the base. Granted, it's blocked. You know, I don't like when a statue blocks something. Nevertheless, this is an amazing bust, and I'm extremely happy with it. So this is number 6. Now we're down to the top 5. Number 5 is Infinity Wonder Woman. I still like her more than Belle, actually. Belle's a better base, but it's Wonder Woman. I just love Wonder Woman. She does have a few flaws. I wish her base was better, more like Queen's, but like a bigger version of Queen's. 2, I don't like her head angled down. You know, that's something I don't care about. The pose is pretty cool. You know, it's a cool concept, you know, but she's just absolutely freaking gorgeous. Love the armor. Her portrait's spot on. And there are just tons of silicone on this, which I really like full back. The arms are full silicone with armor over it. You know, unlike Queen's, which only had like a little thin layer of silicone. And Infinity just went more all out, in my opinion, on theirs. So, yeah, this one's definitely a killer. Number 5, Infinity Wonder Woman. Alrighty, so number 4, I don't actually own yet, but I did own it, so I know how good it is. But it's the Queen Studios Big Chap life-size bust. And I will Google a photo or show you guys how it looked when I used to have it in my collection, because I did sell it, but I sold it for a very good reason. I made $3,000, folks. So I sold it, but we're going to get it back in probably a week or 2. So I'm just going to Google a quick photo. Yeah, so that is one of my photos of when I got it. But yeah, that bust is absolutely freaking amazing. Queen Alien bust. Number 4. Now we're down to the top 3. So number 3 for me is actually going to be my newest acquisition, the Aliens FX Predator bust. I view this as a top bust for several reasons. Now, the base is something I simply made, so it's, you know, not as good as something like, you know, some of the other busts I have, but it does the job. You know, we have a black underbase with leaves to give the jungle theme, a big Predator logo with the dog tag and the scorpion. Skull's a proximity piece. So that works. You know, I made it myself, but it works for a Predator. His body is huge. You know, it's like Captain America width. You know, it doesn't have full arms, but it's like half an arm. But that does add a lot of detail. You know, you get to see this entire armor. He has this giant backpack, you know, which holds like his med kit and the light up features. You know, just the body looks incredibly cool. Like, don't look at the face, don't look at the base. Look how cool that body is. And then you compare it to something like the T-1000. Like, that's just all you see, like a cop uniform with a bunch of that. Or, you know, when I look at other busts and just from neck below to base, this is one of the coolest out there for sure. You know, definitely tons of detail to look at. The bone skulls, the armor, the netting, the intricacies, all the, you know, paint patterns, the armor, ton going on. Portrait, absolutely one of the best in my collection. It is premium top notch. Amazing detail, like really good paint app in the mouth. The eyes are glassed by Force Cell Studios, so they look amazing, you know, just as good as any of my other bust glass eyes. Really good overall paint app on the forehead, the quills, the dreads. Everything looks amazing. Plus, it's absolutely enormous. You know, like, look at it in comparison to the Arnold. You can see it's like literally almost double the size. Probably, yeah, double the size of that. And I love that. The presence is 10 out of 10. Absolutely enormous. You know, plus it's just one of the coolest looking creatures ever created. That's why I feel like Alien and Predator are the two coolest looking creatures ever created. So of course their busts for me are absolute top notch in my collection. So Alien and Predator are number 4, number 3. I put this above Queen Alien bust. You know, I mean, granted that may change when I get Queen Alien bust back, but I don't know. This Predator bust is just very special in my opinion. I think he did such a good job. So that's number 3. Number 2 is going to be Khaleesi bust. She, in my opinion, is the best Infinity Studios bust out there. You know, Belle and Wonder Woman are the two after her. But phenomenal base. You know, like better base than Wonder Woman. You look at just the body. Really good mixed media. Full arms. 3 baby dragons. And they look awesome. And they're huge. So they add a lot of presence. Portrait. Amazing likeness, gorgeous woman, and I absolutely love her character. You know, and I like the fact she's not looking down. Her eyes are very good. Like, I feel like they did so good on her eyes. They're just very realistic. So yeah, for me, she's number 2. She's my favorite human bust, my favorite Infinity bust. Of course, you guys know what number 1 is. It's Thanos bust. He still is my favorite for several reasons. Awesome base. Now, I do like my old Thanos base better, but this base is still really cool. You know, it's like a spaceship themed base. Body is the coolest body of any bust I own. It's freaking ginormous. Like, holy frick. It's like 45 inches wide. You know, so the armor looks the best. You got the gauntlet, which looks super badass. Massive 30-inch pythons. Face looks phenomenal, and it's huge. You know, look comparison next to Thor, a normal human head. It's big. The helmet looks incredible. Glass eyes. Perfect likeness. And the presence is absolute perfect. You know, it's like it doesn't get any better than that. Now, of course, there are ways to improve this bust. Maybe give it a slightly better base like the OG one, just a bigger version of that too. That double arms. Granted, another arm, like how would he even do it? Would he do like a DBZ pose? The arm couldn't be dangling down. You know, so it's like, I understand why they did it, because what would you do with the other arm? You know. Nevertheless, this is my favorite, and I don't think it will ever be topped. But Queen Thanos is the best bust in my collection. Favorite piece in the collection, and it was the most expensive in the collection, so it definitely should be worthy of that title. Anyways, folks, those are my top 10 favorite busts of the 51 busts that I do own. Now, we are going to get a Kratos bust, although I don't think that will make my top 10 list. So I think this is the definitive top 10 for my collection. Unless we decide to trickle in another bust, we'll see. You know, I'm definitely eyeballing that Neytiri bust. She looks amazing. Plus, the presence is insane. Anyways, folks, let me know what your favorite bust is in my collection and your collection, and I'll see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.